Battlefront 2 is getting a relaunch.
Damn.
A relaunch.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 is getting a relaunch.
No, you played Battlefield 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's what that
I
was.
like it.
Well, Battlefront 2 is a much better game than what it was when it started. So
Yeah.
Battlefront. Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I started playing it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I like it more than, I mean, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan, and I haven't played it in a while, so I don't really know what the gameplay's like, but I like it because the rounds last for so long, and I think there's like one game where I had 70 kills and 50 deaths.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
I know, but I mean, it's fun because it gives you a lot of stuff to do. It was like capture the flag, and then after you got a certain amount of points, you would then go into like space and try to destroy these targets.
Huh.
And if you didn't destroy it in a certain amount of time, then you went back and did the capture the flag thing.
Interesting.
Not capture the flag. No, yeah, capture the flag. But it was kind of cool because even if you lost, you still could hold a strong defense.
Yeah.
And keep the other team from doing anything, and then you could come back and get a second chance.
Huh.
And like if you have a dominant team, you win easily. But
Yeah.
if you don't, there's a lot of back and forth, and it's pretty cool.
Huh.
And the heroes aren't as OP'd, I feel like, as like the other Battlefront games.
Yeah.
It
So,
takes a little while to get them to.
In Capture the Flag, you're saying, like, say you do capture the flag, then you go to space.
It's more
So
of
it's
like
like
a
a
King of the
two-stage.
Hill thing than
That's
Capture
that's
the
what I
flag.
meant.
Oh,
King of the
okay.
Hill. So
Yeah.
you go to
But if you
different
control
points.
the hill long enough, then you go to space, and if you win
Yeah.
in space, do you win the round?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't, then it all starts back
All over again.
That's one game mode though.
Did you ever play
Yeah.
the Ewok?
No, I
mode?
haven't.
There's a game mode where you start out as stormtroopers on Endor, and all you have is your gun and a flashlight. Everything else is really dark.
Yeah.
And two of the people start as Ewoks. And so those Ewoks go around. They have their little spears, and they have a bag of like fireflies that hurt you. And you have to go around and kill the stormtroopers.
That
And
sounds fucking badass.
once you kill the stormtrooper, they become an Ewok. So it's hilarious because you know how you have those little buttons or the little like RB and LB where you can do like a grenade or something.
Yeah.
So one of them for the Ewok is the horn. So like towards the end, there's like 3 stormtroopers left, and there's probably like 15 Ewoks.
Yeah.
And we're just hauling ass, all blowing our horns. And you see these stormtroopers like trying to shoot us, and the Ewoks are so small that it's hard to hit them.
Yeah.
It just completely destroy the stormtrooper. It's
That
really
sounds
fun
pretty fucking
game.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I need
like
to get
that.
it. It's only like $5, like GameStop.
I mean,
Wait
it's a
till the
hell of a deal.
relaunch because you'll get all these customization options with it, and apparently it's $20 to upgrade if you already have the release, which kind of sounds like a big bunch of bullshit. EA,
Maybe I
you
should
fucks.
To be honest, though, they've done a good job with releasing content and not
charging
charging
for it.
anyone.
They haven't charged for a single character or
Yeah,
anything like that, or game mode.
But
Yeah,
they're going to.
EA bad.
So what are
EA
they,
is bad.
What are they doing it with the relaunch?
Customization options, it seems, mostly is the big thing, and then it's going to coincide with Rise of Skywalker content.
I know
Yeah.
they're releasing like Sith troopers into the game.
It's just a cosmetic thing. They're not their own unit, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just a first order skin.
No, that's dumb.
Yep, that's EA.
All right. Well, let's dive into this Force Vision, shall we? On today's episode, we're going to talk The Mandalorian episode 3 and 4. We're going to talk about D&D's departure from Star Wars, and we're going to make a little bit of comments on those Star Wars TV spots, but not too much, because apparently Tim hasn't been watching them. It doesn't want to be spoiled. That's fine. That's
No,
fair.
I've seen them.
What are these TV spots you speak of?
They're all on,
You
and
know,
they're in
Rise
I was saying I didn't want to
Skywalker
get
TV
spoiled
spots. Got it.
earlier because that was the reason I left the chat. And then I got re-added. So I was
Okay.
saying, all right, I'm back in.
You left no
spoilers.
spoilers.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, anyways, that's all happening right here, right now. It's time to dive in. May the Force be with us. This is the Force Vision Podcast. So yeah, let's not even beat around the bush, guys. As always, I'm your host, Max Leadham at Max Fozzie. Let's get that out of the way. I am joined by my three friends here. Tanner Rush at Danger Rush, to my right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's him. And to my left, I have Tim Trist, Tim Reichmuth at Tim Trist himself. How are you doing today?
Good.
And of course, behind the mic and the camera and running this program, our good friend Jordan Katzer is here as well.
Yo.
That's nice. All right. Well, like I said, let's not even beat around the bush and let's talk.
It's
We already did.
Like a Wookiee yell.
Yeah, we already did beat around the bush.
Wookiees were just going yo 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 yo.
with
I can't do a Wookiee
What
scream.
stars are you watching?
with haste. No, I'm joking. It's fine.
All right, let's not beat around the bush.
Mandalorian
let's go.
episodes 3 and 4. Let's talk them. Okay, so where did we leave off with Mandalorian
We left
episode
off
2?
at episode 3.
At the end of episode 2, the Mando was heading back.
Rebuilt his ship.
He rebuilt his ship from the Ewoks,
Jawas.
and he was taking his ship
Tanner,
back.
they could have been Ewoks.
It could have been. You never know. We never saw their faces.
We did
Or
not see their
Jawas
faces.
just secret Ewoks.
They load back up with Baby Yoda in tow, and they head into the space. They head into space, and eventually head back to that planet they were on, where he is going to return Baby Yoda and get a handsome bounty.
Mhm.
So, what do we think of episode 3? I thought it was the best episode of The Mandalorian so far. It was definitely a character building episode. Some really cool moments of just straight up lore there with the Mandalorian's armor getting built, and some great emotional depth with the caring for Baby Yoda, who just gets cuter by the day.
I thought Deborah Chow did a really good job.
Yeah. Direction wise, she's going to be helming the Obi-Wan series.
All 6 episodes, too.
That's good.
Which is really cool because that's like basically a 6-hour movie.
Those episodes are probably going to be like, what,
no, it's going to be
15
like
minutes
a
long?
yeah.
No, I think they're like hour-long episodes.
17.
That's what I thought about these.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. I
Turns
guess,
out I was wrong.
They're getting longer and longer each week.
You know, I like the uptick
By,
in
what, 2
action
minutes?
in this episode.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got some Mando Wick vibes.
I'm struggling to remember everything that
Yeah,
happened
I'm
in it.
blanking,
So
to be
the
honest.
first part was
So he turns in Yiddle or
Yep.
Baby
This-
Yoda,
that
first,
is in
we have
episode 3?
To,
Yes.
We have to
Okay.
bring up that little Yoda's playing with the little.
playing with the little
Little
knob on
ball,
the ship.
little ball.
Real
Yep,
cute.
Yep, that was pretty cute.
So he hands him over, gets his Beskar bounty.
And asks what they're going to do with him. And that got them nice and angry.
Yeah, and Werner Herzog was all like, "That's
None of your
very
concern or something.
unprofessional."
Did you hear, by the way,
You
about
cowards.
how he acts towards Baby Yoda?
Wasn't he? Didn't
Werner
he say
Herzog.
like when they replaced it with animated, that was a disgrace or some shit?
No, yeah, they were like they took the Baby Yoda puppet out of a scene just in case they wanted to see what it looked like with CGI.
Yeah.
And Werner Herzog accosts Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni on set. He goes, "You cowards!" And he goes, "Leave it." When you read the article on it, it reads like an Onion article.
Wait, is-
he directs?
Dave Filoni like there the whole
Yes,
time?
yeah, he's
Yeah.
there on every single episode with
Yeah.
Jon Favreau, and Werner
It would have
Herzog.
been nice if Favreau like directed an episode this season. I don't know
think he's
why
just too
he
busy.
didn't.
He's just too busy, which it doesn't make. I don't understand
He's
how
busy.
filmmaking works. You're
He's
not
busy with the MCU.
You're not. Yeah, you're not busy enough to be there. You're not busy enough to be there as a producer the entire episode, but you are busy enough to not direct. But yeah, so Werner Herzog says that. He also says. Early Deborah Chow said, "I had one of the most bizarre days on the film set that I've ever had in my life." She said Werner was so attached to it, he was like literally talking to the Baby Yoda puppet and directing it. He was directing the puppet. It
Sounds
reads
about right.
like an Onion article. It reads like a freaking satire article. It is hilarious. I just love it.
Oh,
You
no.
cowards.
Baby Yoda.
You cowards.
Baby Yoda got the Werner
cowards.
Herzog.
Yep. Which they're making, oh man, infinite merch on that. Buy the product, consume the product.
No,
Thank our
they
lords.
havened made any Baby Yoda merch.
I think
They've
they're in
announced
the
it.
process.
There's
yeah,
pre-orders
They,
for it.
they've pre-ordered.
They're
So
getting
this is
Funko Pops
so-
for it.
So insane to me, since so much of Star Wars is based around selling fucking toys. Disney did not produce any Baby Yoda toys out of fear of it leaking, because usually merchandise toys with Star Wars, that stuff does leak.
Yeah, I mean, look at
pretty
Avengers.
early. But now they're not going to have any Baby Yoda merch ready for Christmas.
I know.
That's
Let's be honest,
so
though.
insane.
Disney's not really strapped for cash.
They're not,
They're not.
but
Hey,
they're
you know
not
what?
going to pass up on a chance to make more, which is so weird to me. Like, even if they had produced Baby Yoda toys and that leaked, most people who pay attention to Star Wars leaks would just be like, okay, so I guess there's a little Yoda thing in the show somehow, and wouldn't necessarily be able to draw that was the bounty in episode 1. A. B. The general public does not pay attention to merchandise Star Wars leaks. Like, no surprise would have been ruined. No surprise would have been ruined. It's
don't
so
know.
crazy
Well,
to
well,
me.
I think Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the reason they're taking very.
It's revealed in episode
I know.
1.
I think
It's just a Baby Yoda.
I
Why
know.
does everyone think this is so significant?
Well, this is
blowing my mind.
They're taking great care for the fans who are really in depth. This dude, I had no
All
idea.
fucking 4 of them?
Dude, I had no idea. Like Yoda's species was such a mysterious thing.
It's
until-
not.
Yes.
It's completely manufactured.
Well, it is because they.
I mean, there's
they,
only
we
there's
don't
only
know his,
2 of them.
Yeah, we don't know his species name. There's only been 2 of them. We had no idea where he came from. We have no idea why. Like,
I
they're so powerful. with the
Personally,
Force.
like that because it shows that they want to, respect the story and keep it a secret more than they want to use it to make money.
You know what I want to know? What about Ben Quadraneros? What about his
The pod
species?
racer?
Yeah. Where's all the baby?
He didn't win the race,
Where's
though.
baby
No one
Ben
likes losers.
Quadraneros?
I didn't realize there was a big Ben Quadraneros that's such a super popular character that we
Yeah.
even care about.
He had the quad pod racer, right? The little 4 things, the red ones with the
know.
X, and then they all shot off.
I'm just so tired of just not everything being explained to me by Star Wars, or that when things are explained, that makes me mad too. I want nothing to be explained or not explained simultaneously. I'm going to be upset no matter what Star Wars does.
So we
'Cause
leave
I'm
off.
a Star Wars fan, and I'm an idiot.
we leave off. All right. Do you feel better?
No.
All right.
Keep going, T.
Well, we
He's not
leave
gonna feel
off
better till he
with
gets a Baby Yoda.
The Mandalorian hands over the Baby Yoda, gets his Beskar steel, and heads off after asking, what's gonna happen to the child. The guy's like, "That's very unprofessional of you." I guess he's Russian now. And so the Mandalorian goes. He gets his badass armor made, the chrome plated ish. He pimped that out good. And
Not before getting some wicked disrespect by big heavy Mando man.
Apollo. Oh no. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Apollo.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Apollo Creed. Carl Weathers. Yeah. No. Yeah. Getting some heavy disrespect, which was. Yeah. You're right. He did get some heavy disrespect, and that was cool
He
too.
tries to
just
yank his helmet off.
Which, by the way, he had his helmet off.
Mhm.
Did that guy have his helmet off?
No.
No.
No. For some reason, I'm thinking he had his memory.
Again, I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode. I don't know where this Mandalorians can't take their helmet thing, can't take it off thing came from, because in Clone Wars and Rebels, there's Mandalorian characters left and right that have their helmets off.
Yeah, I was
kind
kind
of
confused about that. It's
I
like
wonder
an
if they're
honor
like,
thing,
or
but
maybe if they're committed warriors.
This
or
is
something
just like
that.
a post-purge thing
Well,
they're
only
doing
certain
now.
Mandalorians have that armor. So, no, but still, in Rebels and other things, people have that armor and
Yeah.
they're taking their helmets off. Like
Mhm.
Sabine, she has her helmet off all the time, and she's a Mandalorian.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a good question. I'd have to
weird.
look into the
It's
old
just a
lore
weird
books.
thing.
But yeah, he gets
Yeah.
confronted by them as they're making that armor, and he's
Then the whole "this is the way."
this is the
thing
way thing happens.
comes
Yeah,
This is
out.
the way.
This is the way.
We'll hear that.
God,
a
there's so
lot.
many good one-liners from that show.
yeah. This is the way.
I have spoken.
So yeah, they kind of discuss there about like having to be in hiding because the Empire destroyed them, and they still have to be in hiding because the Empire still wants to destroy them even after they've fallen. And their numbers are very low, and it's just a great little bit there because they're like basically, hey, if we tear each other apart, we're gonna like everyone else will get to us if we tear ourselves apart. So it's a cool little bit there. Mando goes to talk to Carl Weathers about getting some new pucks. Carl Weathers' character is very excited about this. Mando wants to know what's happening to the child. Carl Weathers' character is put off by this. Like, what do you think you're doing? You cannot ask about that. And Mando goes and saves Baby Yoda in a really badass.
You forget who one of the pucks is. It's Admiral Akbar's son.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
if I'd say badass.
It's not that badass.
What?
There's
The
What's
choreography,
not
the
badass?
choreography
this
that went
show
into
has some low key jank to it.
yeah.
What? What was bad? What was not
There's
badass
some
about him
jank.
getting into that hut?
It's
and
cool
kicking all
they
their
rescued him,
asses?
blowing through the wall, shooting some stormtroopers.
The part where he beats the shit out of a stormtrooper with his own gun and then shoots him in the face as he's walking
There were
off.
some cool things to it.
The whistling birds.
One thing that stood out was me and Jordan were talking
Yeah, we
about
did.
this.
And
When
this sounds-
he's in the room where I guess he cuts the lights and the stormtroopers have to put their flashlights on to see. But like it's still like super well lit.
It is
Like
extremely well lit.
it's so bright in there. I do not believe that the lights are cut and they're just kind of standing there. Oh, my
Fiddling with
fucking
their-
flashlight. It's like
Maybe they
he's
can't
right
see in
there.
that brightness. with
Then it
their
would have
visor
been.
on.
Then he could have complained about Game of Thrones, where it's too dark to see anything.
There's a way to film dark.
They
and
should have
have it
switched it
work,
to
and
night vision.
There's
Oh, you know what they should have done?
Yeah.
Panned over
It
to
was-
do a first-person view of him looking through his mask.
I
Oh,
was
cool.
really hoping this show would have a much more cinematic quality to it than it does, but it still just feels like a very well produced cable broadcast TV show.
Which they might have been making it for that at first, and then the Disney Plus plans came along.
I don't
But I don't know. I don't see as
I
much
mean,
jank to it as you do. I think there's definitely
know. Especially the final shootout, which we'll get to.
Oh yeah, we talked about that one too.
That was whack.
what?
Yeah,
When so they do all this shooting, and at that point there's basically 4 bad bounty hunters left alive, and then like the entire Mandalorian troop comes awkwardly flying in on their jetpacks. They look like they're on wires, like it's a stage play or something, or like Team America, like marionette puppets come flopping in, and then they just all start shooting for like 5 straight minutes, and it's like, what are you still shooting at this point? Like, how have you not wrapped this up? You fired off so many fucking shots. There were like literally 4 of them left standing. Mandalorians are kind of ass, I think, is the big reveal of the show.
while flying around on a jetpack.
And the heavy guy's going off with his Gatling gun. It's like, what are
That
you
was Jon
shooting
Favreau.
at this point?
was it?
What are
Yeah.
you still shooting at?
Is that really Jon Favreau and
Mhm.
and that armor?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
The wire work was obvious. It was
Yeah.
bad. It didn't look good. It didn't look good.
I still thought it was cool because you got to see the Mandalorians in action. Granted, yeah,
His
it was very long.
Flippy
scene,
twist thing
but
onto the cart looked cool, but then he was just on there forever,
Yeah,
and
he's
nothing
pinned down.
interesting was happening.
He's pinned down. He couldn't do anything.
He was disintegrating fucks, Tanner.
That's true.
One after another.
Vader's very
Yeah,
upset somewhere.
I'm gonna disagree with you guys there. I thought, honestly, what I take it as is it's we're in a area of this universe where not everything is super like polished and refined as like Jedi and Sith and stuff like that. We're in an area of this universe where it's like their equipment isn't like super high tech and things are kind of they just in the nature of the area they're in, it's kind
That
of
doesn't
janky.
change the fact that it looks
didn't-
like
it's
they're
just
on
the
wire.
production.
I didn't really
It
see
didn't
that.
look like a guy on a jetpack. It looked like a guy being hoisted around by a wire.
Yeah.
See, I didn't feel like that. I did not.
I didn't feel like that either, but I
No.
wasn't.
Watch it again
Yeah.
and be angry.
I mean,
when
it's
you
like
watch
a
it.
4-second clip of them rising over the thing and landing.
It didn't look good.
Didn't look good at all.
Didn't look good.
Well,
If you can't make it look good, don't do it. That's all I gotta say.
Or at least do something in post, like
Yeah.
to make it look not like it's just them
And
on
like
a
the
wire.
green screen work's always been real obvious with those shots. I don't think they went to a location to film anything. It all seems like it was maybe just a backlot in California or a sound stage and just heavy green screen work.
They did go to a location.
They went to one location. They went to one sandy
Yeah.
parking lot in
Man,
Pasadena.
you really do not like
California.
this show.
The production isn't good.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It isn't up to snuff. Everyone's making a big deal about how great the budget was going to be, but it just still looks kind of janky.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm enjoying it.
I'm
enjoying
into
it.
it.
I'm enjoying
I'm
it.
still into it. They need to
Yeah, but also
funnel
okay,
some
but here's
more money into
here's the
this
thing.
thing.
If you're gonna disregard, I mean, you can't. Okay, here's the thing though. If you're gonna be very picky about the production on this, especially a 4-second clip of them flying over a ledge, you also cannot totally disregard things that happen in the films that are also totally janky. Now, if you like, for instance, if you watch the fight in the throne room in The Last Jedi, the choreography is terrible when you actually look at that. It's
If you slow it down and look at it, yeah.
If you slow it down and watch it frame by frame.
You do not even need to slow it down.
The
Go
thing
back
is,
and watch it. You do not even need to slow
People
it
talk
down.
about it, and
Thing
it's
is-
sure when you point it out, but when you watched it for the first time in the movie theater,
You're
you
probably like,
did
"Holy
not
shit,
notice
yeah."
it. You
Well,
didn't.
it's different. It's different if you're on if it's like just the spectacle of it. But if you go back, if honestly, me just telling you watch the choreography, you don't even need to go see a slow down clip. Go watch The Last
I'm not
Jedi
saying
again,
either, yeah.
and you'll see it. You're like, yep, okay.
Well,
he
now
just
that you pointed
totally-
it out.
Right.
Well, yeah, but exactly. But I didn't notice the hoist thing until you pointed it out to me, and I don't think I would have ever noticed that. Now there was
know
one. There
how
was
you
one
didn't.
bit that
Pretty bad.
there was one part. I don't know. Hey, dude, if you go back and look at The Last Jedi, that scene is pretty bad. I wouldn't have noticed it until someone
Not a
pointed it
bad
out.
scene. It's like one of the best
The
single
scene,
fucking
no,
scenes in
no,
Star
the
Wars.
scene is good.
Scene's hype as all hell.
That's exactly what you're saying. The scene is good in The Mandalorian. The production is not. The scene is good in The Last Jedi. The
You're
production
just
is not.
some awkward bits of choreography. The thing is the production was good enough that it tricked me into thinking that there weren't any issues. Whereas in Mandalorian, it's like
Which you're also comparing.
it's
like
kind
a
of
movie.
just kindly asking me
Well,
to
you're comparing
ignore
a
it.
movie that has $300 million
I
and
know.
a 2-hour budget.
I'm saying
and
they're
Mandalorian
being
has, like,
too ambitious
200,000.
with some of the things they're filming
Well,
in Mandalorian. If you can't make it look good, don't do it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'll just I mean, I'll definitely go take a look at it, and I mean, I won't say there's definitely not. It's not without its faults. There's definitely parts that I see that do kind of like I do have some issues with on the production quality. For instance, I pointed this out before. Sometimes those stormtroopers look way too different in size. I don't like that. Like the stormtroopers in the original trilogy and in all the others, they generally are about the same
Very
size.
uniform.
The guy who comes out of the door that the Mandalorian baits out of the door in episode 3 looks like he is 5'3" and 190 pounds, and the next guy who comes out looks like he's 6'2". It just kind of looks really janky, and that bothers me a little bit. Like the inconsistent size between those characters, I feel like they should be pretty consistent. Just for it just kind of looks weird to me. That just kind of comes off weird to me, just because in all the other iterations are about the same size. The other thing is, though, that at the end, which was a funny scene, I got to get myself one of those. The guy flying on his jetpack, that kind of looked funny to me. It kind of looked like Rocket Man more than like a Space Age flying guy. But
I did like when he just shoots Carl Weathers.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious. Do you guys think when he shot Carl Weathers there at the end, if he knew he
No,
had that there
no,
and he just
no.
shot him because he's like, get off my ship?
No, he just shot him.
Yeah.
Of course,
Carl
they
Weathers
have
is
to do the whole
pissed.
I mean, he had the Beskar thing in his.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Yeah, he had to pull it out and kind of
That's
like.
a Chris Tucker
That
reference.
was
Rush
lucky
Hour
to
2.
show the audience.
Yeah.
I hate it when I don't know how else you can communicate that visually, but I mean, he might as well have just held it up to the camera and be like, look, it hit this instead of me. But
I thought it was a clever
that
nod
happens
because
all the time.
It
on
was a clever
things.
nod. I mean, he did pull it out and show him. He's like, I got a little bit something for myself. And puts it away.
That's true.
And that was
But they could have left it at that.
It was
and-
it wasn't like he just so happened to have it there. He's like, this is before I
No,
even
that's
thought I was
not
gonna
my.
fight you.
That's not what I was. I was saying it's cheesy the way he pulls it out at the end after he gets shot, just to remind the audience that it was there the whole time. And
Also, I thought it was interesting. Well, I mean, we need an explanation for why he's alive in future episodes.
okay,
I think if he would have
Anyways.
just felt his chest, like and showed that he was alive, and they just did that without pulling it out, I think you would have.
Or
People would
like
assume.
kind of like you could have seen
Or-
like a shot of the metal through the hole in his clothes.
Maybe
or
he just
something,
gets up
like,
and you see it fall out.
There's ways they could have done it without just kind
mean,
of
I really-
hand-holding the audience.
I wasn't too
I-
upset with that.
let's be honest. Like, if I got shot in the chest and I fainted and I wake up and I'm like, and then I pull up, I'm like, oh my god, this thing saved my life. I think like that's a natural reaction. That's gonna be the first
Maybe
thing you
just
do.
pat your chest.
I'm not gonna
and
be like-
feel it yourself.
I'm like,
probably
oh
be like,
good, everything's
oh,
good
thank
under
God.
there.
Yeah,
That's probably
or
what I
like,
would-
Everything's good.
That's in there.
The bullet is definitely somewhere in this thing that I keep over my heart.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Um,
this is.
But yeah, I
Don't
know.
wanna pull it out.
Okay, another interesting
Not a
thing I
big
thought was that the guy who was wearing the cloning badge and everything like that, and had the human glasses from Earth,
Yeah, the doctor.
the doctor, he turned out to be a good guy, saying, I was trying to save him, I was trying to protect him, and I'm like, oh, that's very interesting, because that took a very different turn. I thought for sure he was like some sort of menacing Doctor Strange,
Well-
Doctor like the Batman character.
We knew from the first episode that he was at least concerned for
Yeah, it's like
Baby
that was
Yoda
not the
staying
deal.
alive.
Well, I
yeah.
only thought that the only reason I thought he had concern about it was like, I can't perform my tests on him if he's dead. And the Empire's like, I don't care. And they're like, you'll get whatever. But yeah, I love that scene. He goes in and saves little baby Yoda, who's going through such a hard time, has that black box over him. And, God knows what's happened to that little tyke.
Taking a little nap.
But I'm so glad that Mandalorian saved him. We got to see the cool whistling birds. And then
Do you like this is kind of going back a little bit. Do you like the reference to the ice cream bucket?
Dude, yes. Oh man, that was so funny. As soon as they pulled that out, I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
That is so.
Do you guys know what we're talking about?
I know, but because people were talking about it, and then
The ice cream, yeah. So the ice cream bucket. So the Beskar steel was kept in this thing, like this white bucket, right? Well, it looks like an ice cream machine. That is relevant because in Cloud City and Empire Strikes Back, when everyone's evacuating the city, a person runs by and he has a white, what they're trying to make look like a futuristic piece of equipment that's clearly just a ice cream maker painted completely white, and he runs by the hall with it, and that's all you see of it, and people just make a big joke out of it. He's actually a character. He has a name.
Wilbur Hood.
Yep, and every year at Star Wars Celebration, they do a running of the whatever, and there's like 60 of these people cosplaying as this guy, and they all have their own ice cream machines, and they just run through Star Wars Celebration. So yes, when he pulled that out and opened it up, I go, you've got to be kidding me. So I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously, as we were mentioning, Mandalorian gets Baby Yoda, heads back, and now knows he has to escape because there's people with plenty of bounties on his head and on the more Baby Yoda's head. Tries to escape. There's a great shootout on his way. Well, according to Tanner and Jordan, sort of great shootout on their way out.
Tried.
That's kind of a fun one-man army type of scene, and we get some cool little bits of the Mandalorian and a very high production jetpack scene that had nothing wrong with it.
Like,
okay.
just how the Mandalorian. He's not some perfect badass, but he does have sort of that, like, he's just standing his ground.
Yeah.
He just has a cool standoff moment.
Kind
I
of
love a good
little John Wayne in him.
Guy versus the world kind of scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they fly away, and he gives them the little knob back, right?
Yeah. No, he heads out, and the guy does a little salute.
I need to get me one of those.
And then Baby Yoda
Yeah.
finally gets the little ball, and he just has a blast with it. He's such a cute little guy. And that's the way that episode ends. So the thing at the end of episode 3, we still don't have a villain. I guess you can hint there's one looming, and we also don't really have a story yet. We don't know what this show is really about.
3 episodes in, and the show hasn't come together.
That's something I'm honestly okay. Those are my third concern. I have 3 concerns. My third concern is the length. I'm officially kind of disappointed in the length of the show. I really wish it was longer episodes. We don't have a villain, so I don't know what we're going up against, and we don't have really a story. We just know he's rescuing Baby Yoda. People wanted to experiment on him, but there's no story. So I'm a little concerned by that. But that's at the end of episode 3.
Yeah.
So going into episode 4, Now, this actually I thought was the weakest episode out of all 4.
Didn't you say you really, or someone say?
I think
Tanner
Tanner
thought it was the best
so far.
I liked it, but it was a completely
much
different
more dialogue, much
It's
just,
which was
character-
weird because the whole thing is Mandalorian's that he doesn't talk very much, and yet the entire episode he's talking the entire
he's
time.
got to talk.
But
more.
I do like I do like that he has him. There's a human element to him. I didn't want him to just like not talk at all. Like
I never wanted to hear him again.
He clearly is a badass killer, but he has like nice nice manners and everything like that. Like that's very kind of you.
Yeah,
It's very thoughtful.
it was kind of weird. The love interest kind of felt like forced. Felt
I
forced to
didn't
me.
feel like it because I didn't feel like the Mandalorian is necessarily reciprocating it. He was just like,
True.
I'm not gonna break your heart, girl. Like I know I'm hot under all this armor. Like I know there's nothing more
Yeah.
attractive than
But
this
they
big
kept-
ol'
she has no idea
helmet.
what Homeboy looks
Yeah,
like.
they pull it off. He looks like the guy from not Home Alone, from Goonies.
Hey,
Jack.
you guys.
Or Slot.
She's like, take it off. Oh fuck, put it back on. You can leave. That's fine.
I don't know. It did feel forced because everyone was making references to it. Like Cara Dune's character.
Hey, is your mic on?
made a comment.
Cara Dune is the character.
Oh, whoops.
God dang it.
Cara
Tim.
Dune. Well, the microphone didn't pick that up because it was off.
How
Maybe
long
you're-
have you been off?
Hey, well, I don't think it was that long.
It was just
Year
2
one.
seconds.
Past year 1, we're still recording with our mics off on accident.
You did. Oh yeah,
You did it
did
twice
that.
last-
I
twice
know.
last
I'm making
week.
fun of I'm making fun of me and
I've
you.
never done it.
Not
But
Tanner,
no,
Jordan,
They-
us.
It felt really forced because a lot of characters were bringing it up. I mean, the girl who I don't know her name, but the one who they saved from the village, and then Cara Dune, she made a reference to it too.
Well, that was weeks in advance. I was like, they've been there like 4 or 6 weeks.
I
right?
guess that is
Yeah.
true.
They had a chance to develop
that
a
jump was
relationship.
kind of weird.
Yeah. Also,
yeah, they didn't cover the time jump too well, or convey it too well.
How long
Yeah.
has someone seen you without your helmet on? 6 years or something like that.
No, it was like
Since
since he was
he
a
was
foundling.
7.
And then she leaves and like in clear sight of
Took
his
off his
window.
helmet.
No.
He's just like,
Just,
all right. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully no one
Yeah,
can see
I
me.
made-
This gaping.
I
gap
made
in
it.
my
I made a
eyes.
comment about that. There's clearly people playing.
Right
so
there, they
watching
can look.
me.
They can turn over. They kick the ball in the wrong direction, and they see him.
They
As he
turn
just,
over.
Like, and he's trying to put his helmet back on.
He like stumbles.
Here's
No,
the thing.
He has
has his
smaller. He has his hands making a window. No, he has a smaller helmet on under his bigger helmet, so he just has.
It's
like
like
the
the Master
glasses.
Chief.
Exactly. Yes, it's like you can't see. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You just never see it.
It's like that glasses meme where he takes his sunglasses off and he just has another pair
Yeah.
of sunglasses on.
on.
Here's the thing, though, is that so the Mandalorian in episode 1 or 2 mentions that he was a foundling, which I think is just Star Wars talk for orphan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if yes.
Now I had
I
assumed
actually think it's generally children. Foundlings are our future. They
Yes.
don't mean orphans are. Our
I
future.
assumed orphan in the sense
Good-
that
good- very Batman
his
vibe.
parents were just killed. But episode 4, he says the Mandalorians took me in or took care of me, seems to imply that he is not by birth a Mandalorian.
He might not be.
So apparently in Star Wars, no one's actually a fucking Mandalorian. Jango Fett's not a Mandalorian. Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian. The Mandalorian isn't
Wait,
even a
Django's
Mandalorian.
not- I thought Django was a Mandalorian.
No,
Yeah.
they try to act.
George Lucas has strictly said that it's not. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. and
We talk, yeah.
I don't
We
even
talk.
recognize it as
And
canon.
like, I don't understand the point of all this.
I'm
I
curious.
thought Mandalorian was maybe, it's not a people, it's not a culture. Apparently, Mandalorian is just a lifestyle. If you just put on that style of helmet, you can be a Mandalorian.
I'm curious. There's different interpretations of that. He could say the Mandalorians took me in. Like, I am a Mandalorian. I lost my parents, and the Mandalorians still took me in because, like, I am Mandalorian, and they take care of their
If your
own.
parents were killed and you were adopted, would you say like the Americans took me in?
No, but it's Star
no.
Wars. I mean,
so
it's-
the way
and the Mandalorian are clearly
The-
a culture that might talk like that, like in a very like third person.
the only
Yeah, I mean,
logical
if
way
English
to
way.
interpret that line is that he was not
No,
a
I
Mandalorian
agree.
by birth.
I agree. I'm
It
right with.
I mean,
with
it
you.
could also be the whole fact that like Mandalorians are more of like a family. They stick really closely together.
It's
like the
if your
Suicide
parents-
Squad.
Yeah, if your parents were to die, you would say, "This family took me in," or "My community took me in."
the only faces we have for Mandalorians are not actual Mandalorians. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
we've got.
I'm sure at the end of this
animated
season,
faces.
he's
Sabine.
going to be like, I'm actually not from Mandalorian town. And then the big heavy
I'd love
guy
to
is
visit
going to
there
be
someday.
like, you know what? I'm
Mandalorian
not
town?
really a Mandalorian either. And then the blacksmith is like, I'm not either. Everyone takes off their helmets. They're not Mandalorians. No one's ever been a Mandalorian. It was just a made up word.
I feel like I'm like living the cat and screaming girl emoji. The Mandalorian is the cat, and Tanner is the screaming.
You're not in Mandalorian.
You're not.
It's
the,
just-
the Mandalorian.
It's not like a huge deal, but it's just so fucking weird to me that we don't have a character that the Mandalorian in the show The Mandalorian is not Mandalorian.
Let's wait and see what happens. We'll see.
What does Mandalorian refer to?
I don't
Is it
know.
just the style of helmet they wear?
Maybe it's just how cool they are. I
Would
don't
it
know.
be like, I don't know, people calling themselves Nikes and they all wear Nike shoes on Earth?
Maybe.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. But let's get back to the episode. That's a good discussion for another day when we learn more about the Mandalorian. Now,
Jay, you feel me on this? You know where I'm coming from?
Yeah, dude.
Back to the episode. So the Mandalorian kind of gets a little bit of a love interest here. He settles down with Baby Yoda in this town, not after first fighting the Cara Dune character by the name of Cara Dune, who is
Sorry,
a
Tim.
former rebel. Who is
Shock
Trooper.
Shock Trooper. Oh, who joined the rebels or
No, it's just a rebel shock trooper.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Not stormtrooper.
And she is on the run because she has a bounty on her head, and she believes the Mandalorian is there to fight her, kill her. They have a cool little fight scene outside of the hut, and we get a great Yoda meme again with Baby Yoda sipping his soup like a cute little baby. But they all get settled up because the Mandalorian's like, "Hey, I'm not here to kill you. I'm just like here to try and lay low." They find a settlement that has been raided by raiders on this planet.
Pug people.
Yeah, and they take him in because they want him to protect them, and they have lodging and a place for him to stay. So they stay there, and the Mandalorian kind of agrees to help them. They find out though that there is a ATST there, which I liked. I thought this whole sequence with the ATST was cool. It
Very
was
intimidating.
very intimidating. Like it definitely puts you down on like the ground floor, like what Rogue One did. We're like, holy, this is insane.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, 'cause I mean,
scary, right?
the way they portrayed them in Return of the Jedi
They're like
made
little,
them seem very weak.
they're little
right.
goofy.
That's
little
I
lady
had
boys.
some trouble with the amount of,
We-
pants shitting they were doing over this ATST. It's like, well, a little group of teddy bears were able to destroy a handful of them in Return of the Jedi. I fought two of them at the same time in Jedi Fallen Order. Like, they're not that big
Spoiler.
of a deal.
Damn it,
Well,
Tanner.
you know what, Max?
They're
It's
not
okay.
that big of a deal.
I'm getting there. But yeah, no, I agree. It's but yeah,
now
no,
they're trying to act like they're super tanks all of a
but
sudden.
it's cool. I think they're taking a different interpretation of it. They're like, hey man, these should be way cooler than like way more scary, and like then they come off.
The red eyes. That was pretty
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. So the red eyes and the war paint they
Super
had on it.
tall
I just think
looking,
I like
too.
the idea of it too. It's like it was one that was left behind by the Empire as the Empire crumbled, and so these people were able to find it and use it for their own
Mhm.
benefit. But yeah, but I wasn't really jiving with the whole like we're preparing this town to battle these guys
Yeah,
and
it's-
the ATST, and I'm like, I don't know, this seems kind of rushed. I'm not digging this story. This is
Basically,
it's clearly a fluff episode too because it has nothing to do with the story. We're
They're-
episode 4.
their take on Seven Samurai. These
Yeah.
hired
Yeah, and
soldiers
and there was some cool
protecting a village, teaching them how to fight for themselves.
and there's some cool bits there, cool ideas. I just guys, again, I really enjoy the show, but we're now at the end of episode 4, and we still don't have a villain. We still don't have a plot.
How many episodes are there total?
8.
8?
There's
So we're
4 more
halfway
episodes.
through it.
I think this
Also,
one
it's-
is going to be. But is this one directed by Filoni? The
This
know.
one was
The
directed
fifth one?
by...
no,
Bryce
the
Dallas
fourth.
Howard.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
got a little ahead. The fourth was Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the next one's going to be
Dave?
Very pivotal.
I hope, man, because like we're getting. You know, it's also crazy. These characters that were kind of like I don't know, from our trailers, we're kind of made to believe that they were going to be there the entire time. IG-11 I think is clearly dead at this point. Is actually really dead, and
So,
Cara Dune is
I
just
think-
like a one-off character too.
That's why I said, do you think she'll be back?
Yeah,
And
I
was
don't
like,
know.
Nah, I'm gonna say no.
She might.
No,
I
she's
think
gonna
she'll
be back.
She'll be
because
back.
There's
Well,
a scene of
she-
her in the trailer with a Gatling gun.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
Okay.
she'll be back.
She has been confirmed to be filming season 2.
Oh yeah.
So
I think so.
we will see her again.
I think IG-11 will be back, but I think it's more of it's going to be a different IG unit, and they're just going to keep coming back, different versions.
Yeah. Maybe no.
All
That's
voiced
true.
by
Taika,
Taika,
because
yeah.
they'll all have the same voice.
And I
right?
think that first one, it may not have been IG-11. It could have just been a.
Does he
IG
not
unit.
identify himself as IG-11?
I don't know. If he
I
does.
don't think so.
I don't remember.
Actually, good point. But yeah, so they fight the Raiders. They win. They're able to take down the ATST, and you know the episode. You know, flash forwards about 6 weeks. They've been there a while, taking part in the village,
6 weeks later.
becoming one, and with the people there. And Mando still hasn't taken his helmet off. He still hasn't hung
He
dong
hasn't
yet.
showered.
Yep. So I was really
Pretty
hoping.
stanky.
I was for a second there, like I keep forgetting that this isn't like Game of Thrones. This isn't HBO. I'm like, oh, Mando's definitely gonna hang dong, and he's definitely gonna bang that village girl. And then I'm like, oh wait, this is on Disney Plus. This will never happen. Unfortunately, because we all know Pedro Pascal, beautiful man, but just go watch Game of Thrones.
He's a handsome guy.
Yeah. So at the end of this episode, Baby Yoda is of course being cute, and he's gonna decide.
He's just playing with his friends.
He's playing with his friends, and he's deciding he's going to leave Baby Yoda behind because he's safe here. No one's going to get him. And as he's talking about that, guess what? He's not safe there. Someone is going to get him. For a second, I'm not joking. For a moment, I thought they straight up. I
Just
wasn't.
killed him off.
I did not get. I was not getting the bait and switch vibes. I'm like, holy shit, they're going to kill Baby Yoda, and then they didn't. But I thought for sure they were.
Man.
I was like terrified. I'm like, they're.
When they had Baby Yoda in the crosshairs, I was like,
Paige was like,
no.
Paige was like,
No.
Paige was so sweet. She was like, oh, right on his head. she was aiming right on it, and I was like, oh no. And then thank God Cara Dune was there to blast that boy. And Mandalorian is like, all right, well, you can't stay here, Baby Yoda. And then they take off, and Baby Yoda's sitting at the end. And he's just like, it was so cute, man. God, that's such a cute little
Yeah,
thing.
I was watching it.
Cowards.
and
Was that
Hannah was in
Leave
the
it.
room working on homework, and then she caught Baby Yoda out of the corner of her eye, and then became very interested in the.
Oh my
show.
God! So before Paige watched it, all she would do is like she just when every single time Baby Yoda came out, and I go, Paige, he's on,
Yeah,
and she would
he
come
said-
in, and she
Yeah,
just come in and clap.
I just,
for him.
I love. There's so many
He's
memes
cute.
online
He's
where
so
they're just
cute,
like,
dude.
Very
they're
cute.
like the only thing that could reunite the Star Wars fan base was Baby Yoda.
Someone, and and also like
I don't want the fan base to be reunited.
also, hey,
It's too
come on
late.
now.
It's already
Also,
happened.
someone posted is like y'all forgetting about Baby Groot though. Posted about him, and someone like quote tweeted it and said, "I would use Baby Groot as sticks in a fire to keep Baby Yoda warm." And I was like, "That's 100% accurate. I would do the exact same
Oh,
because
man.
Baby Groot's got nothing on Baby Yoda." So.
Except
You
for
saying
that he's-
Yoder?
I'm saying Yoder. That's stupid.
Kevin
I'm just-
Yoder?
Baby Yoder. But yeah, guys, for me, this wasn't the best episode. It was kind of a fluff episode. Really doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Yeah,
But we still, guys, we don't know a villain. We don't know the freaking plot. We have 4 episodes.
It also kind of
Like, where's the
establishes
weight?
that he's not going to just drop Baby Yoda off somewhere. He's going to have to take him essentially wherever he goes.
Yeah, so I mean, some people are concerned. And I'm concerned about this too. Is it just going to be him going place to place, trying to find a place to leave Yoda? And the last scene is going to finally find a place and leave him, or like I just want. I'm very surprised by the decision to not introduce a main villain or some sort of plot. I'm
The
very
Empire's the
surprised.
villain.
the
Yeah, but like no, a main villain, like someone who is the secondary story.
I think
in
they're going to
this.
do that next episode.
Well, they could easily make the episodes 15 minutes longer, developing a secondary plot with the villain, which they have. That's why our episodes are so short. Name it, like literally every single TV show has at least a 15-minute section that's dedicated to the villain and his plans
Yeah.
and why he's wanting to take down the protagonist.
Would you rather watch a Mandalorian episode that is an hour long or a 30-minute episode of just Baby Yoda walking around chasing a frog?
Baby Yoda, probably. I could watch that for hours. When he puts that frog in his mouth and the kid's like,
spits it out.
"Oh," and then he like spits it out. I'm like, that is the cutest thing. God, you're so adorable. There's a shirt that has Baby Yoda on it. It says snack time, and it has a frog in his mouth.
See,
I'm gonna totally
I don't
consume
know.
that product.
I don't like the whole frog eating thing. It's gross.
I mean, he's just
Frog's
a little baby.
still
He doesn't know.
hungry.
He doesn't know what he's doing, man. He doesn't know any better.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the Mandalorian episodes 3 and 4. Feeling on the show, I'm still feeling good.
So, did you? I don't know if I shared this with you. Katie Sackhoff, is that her?
Sackhoff.
Katie Sackhoff tweeted that something really big happened, like something really exciting.
I'm
but
gonna tell you
can't
this.
Share with it.
I don't buy into any of that shit anymore.
You don't think?
I don't buy into any of this.
Bo-Katan is going to be in it?
Maybe.
So she voiced Bo-Katan in Clone Wars and Rebels, the leader of Mandalore.
Oh, she'll probably be in it. No, I'm just saying, like,
no, I think she's gonna. I think she'll be in it, which
Didn't-
is interesting.
didn't someone say that there was a big spoiler in episode 1 about like the Star Wars universe?
I think it was just a Baby Yoda
I think
thing.
that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm like, is that the big
It's
spoiler?
not a spoiler.
I was
That's
like,
not a spoiler.
Part of the story.
Nothing's being spoiled. It's part of the story.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like when everyone's like, "Oh, there's a big
Well,
thing that's gonna happen." I'm
yeah.
like, "All right, prove it."
I think the reference to Life Day. That was pretty big spoiler.
That was-
Made the Christmas special.
But yeah,
canon.
apparently, Katie Sackhoff, who also voices Ahsoka. I don't know if you already mentioned that. Right?
No.
No, that's
Catherine.
no,
X.
it's something Eckstein.
Some next.
Jen. Is it? It's not Jennifer.
I don't know, but Jamie.
No. How do I not know this?
Janelle.
No.
Ashley Eckstein.
Ashley Eckstein.
Wow. Yep, there's an A in
Yeah.
or there's a J in Ashley.
So a character
silent.
from Clone Wars is going to be maybe in the next episode of Mandalorian, which is
But
interesting.
so I was talking to Drew last night about potential things that they could do. It'd be really awesome if they started bringing in some of those Rebels characters to the show. So
Yeah.
other than just Bo-Katan, but like Sabine,
Rex.
maybe Ezra,
Maybe
Rex would be cool. Ahsoka,
We know he was on Endor.
exactly. Hera. But I think it'd be really cool if they started just kind of merging all of the different shows together.
There has been a criminal lack of Twi'leks in
We're going
the
to get
Disney
one.
Star Wars.
We're going to get
era.
one.
Yeah.
There is going to be who's the person who played Tonks in Harry
Yeah, I
Potter.
remember her.
She's in it. She's playing a Twi'lek, so we'll see.
That's right.
But yeah, 4 episodes left. I like the show. It's a good show. I'm hoping episodes 5 through 8 really close out chapter 1 here in a
And
very nice fashion.
We still have yet to see Bill Burr.
We don't. Bill Burr is coming up at some point.
I mean, yeah, I'm enjoying it. Again, I'm still not like over the moon with this.
Yeah, that's fair. Just let's just see how it finishes up and go from there.
And it's put me more at odds with the rest of the Star Wars community than anything else has so far.
Yeah. No, I know you're very passionate about not liking this very
Well,
much.
I sent you guys that post. It was a shot of Boba Fett standing next to IG-88 and then the Mando standing next to IG-11. And it was like nostalgia overload or something. And then someone in the comments was like, now this is how you fan service or something like that. Like, and then went on to
That was
complain.
such a reach, by the way. Like the imagery, I felt like was such a reach. I'm like, how is that fan service? I was like, it's 2 characters of the same type of
well,
race.
because
standing next to
like
each
I
other.
was saying, like it's not Boba Fett and not IG-88, and like why not just make it fucking Boba Fett and IG-88? It feels there's so much just fan service for the original trilogy in this show and some prequel stuff too. But meanwhile, if anything in the sequel trilogy gets too close to mirroring any of the previous movies, like people shit their pants about that and freak out, like with The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
There's
a
no
little
consistency.
different because it's with like what Mandalorian's doing. It's like small things. It's not the entire plot of the movie, where the entire plot of Force Awakens was them going to Starkiller Base, which is also a Death Star.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We could go into that all day because, fans are going to be hypocritical. That's just the way they are, especially in fandom as big as Star Wars. But I agree, Tanner. There's definitely, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's gonna just be our recap of episodes 3 and 4 of The Mandalorian. Guys, I would really like to try and do this weekly. If we can at least do like a 20-minute review of Mandalorian episodes, like when we just meet for Cinemaxic. Jordan, could we do like a 20-minute Force Vision? Just to maybe do a longer episodes on the second days, but like just a quick little review. Not only has to be 20 minutes.
When?
Just like on Wednesdays
Typical
when we
days.
record Cinemaxic,
Oh.
we can just throw in 15 minutes to do a quick review of The Mandalorian
Sure.
do a week by week episode review recap. I think that might be better than doing 2 at once. I don't know, but
So
yeah.
you're just tossing it into Cinemaxic.
Are
Are you saying
or I
20
just
minutes,
say, or
just
just
a 20-minute
a
Force Vision
15-minute Force Vision, yeah,
Yeah.
and then
That
we could
was-
do a longer Force Vision the week after that. That's like because the 15-minute it's so short we won't even notice that
Yeah.
it gets longer on those days, and only until the Mandalorian's over. But okay, moving on to because keep an eye on that. We'll do more weekly reviews of the Mandalorian. But moving on into more news, real quick. We didn't talk about this before. D&D have departed Star Wars. They had some cool ideas, I thought, in order. They came to Star Wars, they came to Disney, they came to Kathleen Kennedy with this idea for a Star Wars trilogy. They loved it. They gave them the green light, signed them on. D&D, David
Benioff.
Benioff and Weiss. Wait, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. There you go. Of course, famous for show writing Game of Thrones.
Equally famous for ruining Game of Thrones.
Probably more famous at this point for ruining Game of Thrones. I think people who haven't watched Game of Thrones know about D&D at this point. But they signed an overall deal with Netflix. However, they did say, like, we're going to sign this deal with Netflix, but this cannot interfere with our Star Wars stuff. Disney didn't buy that was going to be the case, so they decided to cut loose.
Well, so yes,
Cut bait.
the official statements try to paint this as sort of like a mutual agreement, if not D&D's outright decision. I have a hard time buying that. I have to believe Kathleen Kennedy just kind of opened the door and sort of gestured that they walk through it. And they don't want to. They're trying to make it seem as mutual because there's already this
Yeah.
air of Kathleen Kennedy just firing too many people from Star Wars projects.
I mean, it's happened on every single project besides
not 7 or 8.
not 7 or 8,
I don't think on 7.
but everything else. Rogue One, Episode 9,
Rogue One,
Solo.
yeah.
It's like it's now this with the David. It's like
Yeah.
it's a literal revolving door of people who get signed and announced. It's what she needs
Well,
to. And I guarantee you, the Ryan Johnson
unfortunately-
trilogy is not happening. That's not going to happen.
Who knows?
And they're not.
Unfortunately, I think Colin Trevorrow was just a bad judgment call. With Solo, that was some course correction there, but I think with D&D, it was more like they saw how Game of Thrones ended.
Yeah.
And then, did you hear anything about that Q&A they did?
Yeah,
Like
where
a
they
week or
basically
two.
said they didn't
Oh
read
my god,
any.
dude, that was such
Yeah.
a terrible Q&A.
Like,
It's like, what are
they
you guys doing?
Basically, just were like, we're frauds. Like,
Yeah, like we didn't want to make too many fantasy elements because we wanted, people to be able to watch this. And not
I
just
think
nerds.
Disney was like, all right,
like, this is gonna be a shit
Well,
show.
They're probably gonna
This-
ruin Star Wars.
Literally
so-
two of the most like controversial things of the past year in fandom: the Game of Thrones ending and Last Jedi, combining the hate storm for both those things combining into one.
I'm totally fine seeing them gone.
Yeah, it's probably for the
I'm
best.
I'm okay
fine
with
with
it.
that.
Yeah.
It's for the best. Yeah, it's for the best. And like I said, it's just a revolving door there at Disney. I don't know exactly how to feel about this.
I think they're in the right direction with the rumors that Jon Favreau and Dave
Yeah.
Filoni are gonna
they
be
need
heading.
they need someone else to take over because it's getting to that. It's getting ridiculous. They need someone who, and they need to stop announcing people, which they think they've learned their lesson. They have who they want for the next trilogy of movies and the next step of movies. They already have who they want. That's been announced, but they aren't going to say it. This is actually a Disney press thing. We have them. We'll announce in January.
Yeah.
And that basically says we're going to get this 100% ironed out before we announce them, because we don't want to have the exact same situation we've had before where we just cut people loose after announcing them, making a big ass deal out of it. So yeah, let's see where Lucasfilm goes with this. But yeah, they need to definitely get someone who can just know what they're wanting to do with Star Wars and just go with it. And finally, there's just some cool TV spots. I don't really want to talk about much, but I do want to mention the last one where Kylo and Rey and that TV spot are walking towards each other to Duel of Fates.
That was dope.
Awesome. I'm actually upset they didn't save it for the movie, because we would have lost our minds if they start walking towards each other and they start playing Duel of Fates.
I don't think Duel of Fates is going to be in the movie.
I think it is. They've said every major piece of Star Wars music is going to be in this last movie. Did you hear that? They announced that.
Well, spoiler alert.
I know.
Spoiler
So every
alert.
major piece of music is going to be in this, which I am so excited for. But man, if they would have played Duel of Fates in that theater, oh my God, with none of us knowing, everyone would have lost their minds.
Mhm.
They would have lost their minds. So I'm a little bummed that they did play that in the TV spot. Guys, here's my tip. Don't watch any more TV spots. Just don't. Honestly.
They're just cranking them out.
They
like
are
it's
cranking them
nothing.
out, and they're giving, like, you can combine all the new stuff in the TV spots into basically another full-length trailer, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but just don't watch them. Just don't watch them anymore. Let's go in blank. We have like 16 days until we're there. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting bit. In that TV spot, we get Duel of Fates. We get a classic score from Star Wars. We're going to get more. And yeah, that's going to be really exciting. So that's all I kind of wanted to bring up too about that TV spot. That was just a really cool moment.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's Force Vision. We did want to just get in. There wasn't much news out there in the Star Wars world. We just wanted to get in a review for you guys on what we thought episodes 3 and 4 of The Mandalorian, and just a couple other anecdotes there. We will be back next week with a new episode of Cinemaxtic, and we're going to try and do a weekly review of The Mandalorian. Just a quick 15-minute episode you guys can listen to that I think would be nice and enjoyable. As always, I'm your host, Max Leadham at Max Fozzie, for my friend Tanner Rush at Danger Rush, and my friend Tim Reichmuth at Tim Trist.
It's me.
This has been the Force Vision Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and may the Force be with you.
Always.